Let's design the bottom area. So what we are going to need here is a scroll view. So I'm going to get a scroll view here. And I'm going to position it so it touches my big view here, all blue lines. And just for our ease of viewing, I'm going to change the background color. Let's stick with the green one here. As you can see, we have some space here between our scroll view and our top view, but we're going to move it up so the space is almost not visible. All right, let's actually touch it so we have zero space there. So this is our scroll view. What I'm going to do is set the auto layout constraints on it, so it's gonna be 0 all around, so it's completely touching our walls here. And let's give some small margin on top. Let's put it 4 points on top and add, and now we have all 4 walls set, and you can see the guidelines are blue now. It means our auto layout constraints are connected correctly. Then what we're going to do is to put another view inside of it, and inside of this view we are going to put the rest of our views, which are two collection views and one table view. So let me get a view. And this is gonna be touching our scroll view, so it's gonna be the same size as our scroll view, the width. Let's set the width of my view here manually, so it's gonna be 547 points. And also I'm going to again change the background color so it's visually easier for us to see it. So the red one is our container view and the green one is our scroll view. And now we are going to set the constraints on our view here. So let's again select our auto layout constraints here, and I'm going to set for these to have top 0, left and right 0, and we want to keep the height to be standard 5, 4, 7. Let's set this. Now as you can see, our guidelines are red. What we are going to do is select my view here and control drag to my scroll view, and we are going to set the width and height to be equals to my scroll view. And once we do it, you can see that our view resizes because it has now two conflicting constraints. First we say that we want the height to be 547 points, and then we say that the height should be equal to our scroll view, which is kind of bigger. And the reason we are doing this because whenever you have a scroll view, it's very tricky to get the auto layout constraints correct because the scroll view size depends on the things inside. It has to calculate all this, and for this we are doing this extra auto layout constraints here. But once we do it, you want to select these new constraints that we just did, not the 547, but this equal height. And when you select it, you will see that it says from our view the height is going to be equal to super view height, which is our scroll view. And then we have the priority, which is 1000. In our case this is maximum, but we want to put it low priority. So as you can see, once you change it, the lines become dotted lines, and our view here, the red one, is changing its size and getting back to our 547 constraint because this one has 1000 priority. So our Xcode will give priority to these constraints and not to this one because it's a much lower priority there. So once we have done this, we are going to get our collection views. Let's find it, collection view, and this one we're gonna have some margins around it. So let me just check mine. We are going to have X to be 5 points, and Y we're going to set it to 0 for this one. The height should be 100 points, and the width should be 365. So we have 5-point margins around it. Then I'm gonna set auto layout constraints on this one. So on top it's gonna be 0. I should be 5 and 5 here, not 4 and 6. And height should be 100 points. Now I need to copy this, Command C, Command V, because we need another scroll view, another collection view, sorry. And since we have copied this, we have this height constraint set to 100. What I need here is to set it to 80 points. And then we are going to set the top to be 4 points, left and right to be 5 points each, and height we have already set it, so we don't need to do anything there. So this one is quite shorter. Instead of 100 points as the top one, it will be 80 points. And finally, we need to have a table view. And again, our table view, let me select mine here. Right, my table view will have an X. Let's select. The X will be 5. The Y will be 188. Width should be 365 and the height 360. And the reason we are setting the height to be 360 is because we are going to have only 6 cells here, and the row height, while you have your table view selected, you can set it to have 60 points. So you will have 6 cells of 60 points, which total will be 360 points. And we have some nice margin around our view there. So let's see, we need to set the constraints here are done. So we need to set the constraints for our table here. So it's gonna be 4 points, 5, 5 on the side, and this one I want to keep the height standard, and we don't set the bottom constraints here. So our auto layout constraints are ready, and as you can see now, our scroll view is a bit bigger, quite bigger actually, than our view here. We don't have to touch this because our scroll view will be automatically resized based on our screen. So it's okay just for visually, we have some extra space here so we can work cleanly. Then let's select the first collection view on top, and the cell size is going to be 80, the width and height is going to be 100. And for the second collection view is going to be 80 width and 80 points height instead of standard 50-50. So this will set our each cell size to be fixed to 80-100 and 80-80.